Last weekend, I hosted a party at our house, a small, intimate gathering meant to celebrate my recent promotion at work. It was supposed to be a joyful evening filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the warmth of close friends. Clara, my wife, had seemed enthusiastic from the start. She helped plan every detail: the decorations, the playlist, the guest list, the food. Everything was curated perfectly, polished on the surface like a picture-perfect moment. Guests began arriving around 7 p.m., and soon the place buzzed with energy. Music floated to the rooms. People danced, talked, and laughed in cozy clusters. Clara floated through the house like the perfect hostess, laughing, joking, charming everyone with effortless grace. I felt proud to have her by my side, proud of what we'd built together. At one point, I realized Clara had vanished. I assumed she'd slipped away for a break, maybe helping someone or taking a moment for herself. But 30 minutes passed, and I started feeling uneasy. I walked around casually, not wanting to seem paranoid. She wasn't in the kitchen, not on the patio, not upstairs. Her phone still rested on the charger in the bedroom. Then I overheard someone say it. Asterisk, they're in the garage again. Asterisk. The words didn't seem strange at first, but the tone, curious, suspicious, stuck with me. Quietly, I slipped down the hallway toward the garage. The door was slightly ajar, just enough to let the sound of muffled laughter reach me. I peeked inside, not expecting anything out of place, but what I saw a backslash. Clara stood far too close to a man I barely knew, Evan. I'd only met him once before, through one of her co-workers. Their bodies weren't just close. They were leaning into each other. His hand rested low on her back, and she was laughing. Not the casual kind of laugh you give at polite jokes, but that flirty, breathy laugh I hadn't heard from her in years, the kind she once reserved for me. I stepped back before they saw me, heart pounding, mind racing. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I couldn't shake what I'd seen. I returned to the living room and tried to wear the same smile I had worn earlier, but the joy had been drained out of the night. Something had shifted, and no amount of music or forced cheer could bring it back. Later, as the evening wound down, I saw them talking again, this time by the stairs. It wasn't their words that caught me. It was her eyes, the way they sparkled like I hadn't seen in years. It was like watching a stranger wearing my wife's face. When the guests finally left and the house grew quiet, I asked Clara about Evan. She brushed it off, called me insecure, rolled her eyes, and went to bed without another word. Over the next few days, I became alert, hyper-aware. The Clara I thought I knew now existed under a fog of doubt. I checked our shared laptop one evening and found a hidden folder buried under unrelated work files. Inside were screenshots of messages between her and Evan. Some were harmless, others weren't. They were intimate, emotional, inappropriate. One message sealed it. Asterisk, I wish I could spend every night in your arms. Asterisk, I didn't confront her immediately. I needed more than emotion. I needed clarity. Proof. I reached out to the mutual friend who had introduced Evan, asked about him under the guise of casual curiosity. That's when I learned that Claire and Evan had worked together in the past, and that they had spent a lot of late nights at the office over the last year. Memories started surfacing. Nights she came home late. Weekends she was too tired to do anything. I had always chalked it up to work stress, never once imagining she was emotionally investing in someone else while lying next to me in bed. Eventually, I sat her down. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse. I simply showed her the screenshots, the messages, the photos, and asked her the one question I needed answered. Asterisk, do you love him? Asterisk. She didn't answer right away. She broke into tears, begged for forgiveness, claimed it wasn't physical, said it just happened, that she never meant for it to go this far. But it had gone far. Too far. The emotional betrayal already lived inside me, like a weight pressing down on my chest. That week, I moved out, stayed with my brother. Clara kept trying to reach out. Long texts, promises, pleas. But I couldn't pretend everything was okay just because she regretted getting caught. Trust, once shattered, isn't something you glue back together with apologies. Now, when I think back to that party, I see it differently. What was supposed to be a celebration became the night I quietly began planning my exit. The night I realized I didn't really know the woman I had married. The laughter, the music, the clinking glasses, all just a backdrop to a heartbreak no one else could see. Sometimes, the most devastating truths arrive in the middle of your happiest moments. And once you see them, really see them, you can't ever look away again. I wish things had been different. I wish I had been wrong. But in some twisted way, I'm glad I found out when I did, because that was the night everything truly began to change.